Hello everybody, welcome to my video, my first video. Today we're going to be talking about Stormworks, and oh boy, let's just say it is weird. So, what is Stormworks? You've probably asked yourself that while coming across it on the Steam store. Put simply, it's a sandbox game. You can build pretty much everything. It's only limited by your imagination and the processing power of your computer, unfortunately. Yeah, it is quite power demanding, performance demanding. Anyways, so Stoneworks is a sandbox game that you can build everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. From a car to a boat to the, I don't know, Millennium Falcon, whatever you like. You can build everything there. Now, I'm just going to talk about Stoneworks, show you some gameplay footage, and I'll let you decide on whether you like it or not. Or should I say on whether you want to pay $50 for that. Anyways, with all that said, let's begin on the first segment, career, which nobody plays. Career mode, the game mode that only tryhards and people with no life play. Nobody plays that. Trust me, nobody plays that. What is career? Well, I've only played it a couple times, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And I can explain to you. Career is essentially like survival for most other games. You have your own boat, you can get money to upgrade it, and you can go on missions to get money. There are two types of missions, what I like to call active and passive missions. Active missions are missions that appear and show you how much you'll get. For example, rescue these survivors from a boat, or transport this boat to a dock, or put out this fire, or find the overboard person. You get it. And the passive missions are essentially like get oil from an oil rig, take it to an oil refinery and get paid for that, or take refined fuels and deliver them to an airport or a dock. Simple as that. There's also a new type of income you have, which is fishing. It's not really useful because you don't get paid that much, but it's still nice, and they've added new nets making it even easier. So yeah, there are multiple things you can do to get money. There are also crates you can find on the water. They're pretty rare, but they can give you a lot of money. So that's career mode. Build your ship, go out and rescue people, upgrade your ship, and the cycle continues. Not gonna lie, it's pretty boring. So that's why we're gonna talk about creative mode. So, creative, the reason why you probably wanna get this game. Well, uh, this is the limitless mode. The mode where you can build everything that's only limited by your imagination and again your processing power, but we went over that. Anyways, it's truly the reason why this game is as popular as it is. The limitless nature and the complicated nature too. There are some very complicated parts of Stoneworks. For example, sculpting. With the limited selection of blocks, it's a difficult thing to master, but many people have mastered it, and the creation that they've made are fantastic. The Titanic and others like it are the greatest examples of that. Another complicated thing is microcontrollers, something that absolutely nobody can learn. Okay, no, I do know people who know how to use them, but they're pretty difficult for a beginner. In fact, I haven't fully mastered them, even though I have 2,000 hours on it. Maybe that's a problem on my part, but whatever. So, because it's such an easy thing to learn and pretty much not something that you'd have difficulty in, I am kind of gonna skip on it, but it's not something that you really need to know about. I'm just going to tell you that you will easily know how to build in Stoneworks, even though it's your first time. Just give it at the least 50 hours and you'll build fantastic creations. I promise you, my friend. Anyways, so let's just talk about creative then. Well, creative isn't really a very important bit. I'm gonna talk about it later. For now, just look at the segment where I'm building the U-boat, and you'll understand why I'm skipping over it. It's pretty simple. Okay. Let's talk about general gameplay here. The gameplay is pretty simple for both modes. In creative, you can do whatever you want, and in career, it's the missions and responsibilities that I talked about earlier. Yeah, I know I am kind of skipping over career, and that's because nobody plays it. There are some playlists on YouTube, but aside from that, really nobody is interested in that one. Of course nobody would be, because the creative mode, or custom as it's called in the game, is far better. You are technically seeing gameplay of it, but actual gameplay is not really different for both modes. The only difference is that you're pretty much invincible in creative, whereas in career you can die. Again, just like Minecraft, although this game really isn't like Minecraft, but whatever. So as you can see from this footage, I have taken my destroyer and taken it for a ride in the ocean. And that's the thing about Stormworks. Most of the map is water. There's only like a small percentage of land for the land vehicles, but most of it is water, which is pretty fine with me. I'm very interested for machines that go on water, and that's the reason why I got this game. Yeah, I'm really a fan of ships. Hope you are too, because then you wouldn't really have a reason to get this game. Anyways, so as you can see, the really nice things about this game is the depth of every vehicle. Of course, this only depends on your creations and the other creations. And of course, there are some creations that are pretty lame, but you can make your creation as complicated as you want it. Yes, it is limited by your skill, but still. So, as you can see, there are multiple things, and from what you can see, it is armed. My destroyer is armed, and that's what I'm gonna talk about next. The DLCs in this game. The worst part about this game. Yeah, there is a lot of negative things coming up, which is unfortunately the truth. Anyways, let's start with the weapons DLC. The first DLC that was added, and the time I realized things were gonna go downhill. So a little bit of lore. When I heard that the weapons aren't gonna be a free part of the game, but instead a paid DLC that was 10 euros, actually $10 or whatever, I got really annoyed. But it is unfortunately what has happened because, well, put simply, the developers need money. That's how they keep the game up. That's how they keep the game updated. So yeah, it's a necessary part. So I'm only gonna talk about the positives. Weapons essentially give a whole new meaning to this game. It's not only weapons, but a new mode. What was it again? I think it was conquest. Yes, the conquest mode. It's essentially you versus AI who can capture more islands. I'm gonna talk about that a bit later with the more DLC. Yeah. Okay, so there were some parts of the weapons DLC that they didn't mention about, mainly the multiple guns and handheld items that they haven't added enough of. seriously, only a few weapons. We need more. We need shotguns, rocket launchers, everything. It doesn't matter. But honestly, that doesn't really matter. It's pretty minuscule things. It's pretty clear that the developers are pacifists. Anyways, let's talk about the how was it again? Yes, the Industrial Frontier DLC. The DLC that made this game look like a Mad Max movie. Simply, it added the desert. So, there is the new dry biome, essentially the desert. In fact, you're seeing footage of that right now. The desert adds a lot of new locations, including a destroyed power plant, nuclear power plant, and multiple other places. But as the name implies, this is mostly industrial. By that, there are a lot of oil wells, oil refineries, and most important of all, mining. Yeah. So, mining. One of the main features of the Industrial Frontier DLC that isn't just exclusive to the dry biome, but also to the rest of the biomes. Just, in the dry biome there's a lot more mining to be done. Because of course it would be. Anyways, so, mining is a very lucrative way you can get income. There are multiple ores. I'll try to remember them. It is kind of hard remembering the elementary table after all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's copper, iron, gold, uranium, and others like those. Yeah, yeah, as you can tell, I haven't really paid attention to those. Really, I haven't done any research for this video at all. I'm just talking to a mic. And animating. Anyways. So, that is another thing that the Industrial Frontier adds. Aside from those, the new location, and a few other things, there aren't all that much. Of course, there are the quality of life improvements. But anyways, uh, I would say that's about it for the Industrial Frontier. So let's go on to the last DLC, the Space DLC, which is the most controversial DLC. You heard that right. Space is the most controversial thing, even though it really shouldn't be. The actual reasons for that is before the DLC there was an update to the game, the 1.9 update, which completely broke it. It added a lot of new features like uh, atmosphere and gases, but the problem is when introducing such a complicated new mechanic to the game, it breaks it. And well, as the developers had been doing for the past couple of months, they of course did not address it right away. For a while the game was in a state of unplayability, with every ship sinking, every jet aircraft not being able to take off due to not enough thrust, and all in all the game being in a pretty bad state. You'd assume a game built for ships would be optimized for ships, but unfortunately no, the ships did appear to be the most effective things. You had other things like even the smallest creation had their own gravitational pull, like I don't know, like Queso, and a lot of other problems with air pressure. But we're not here to talk about the controversy of the game, even though we really should. But we're here to talk about the DLC. Now, I don't really have the Space DLC, so you'll just have to think of yourself if you want it or not. Though I should mention the reason why I don't have it is because I do not want to spend another 10 euros on a DLC that I'll probably not even play anyways. So it's really up to you. But to keep it short, there's space and there's the moon. That's all. All the components for a rocket are in the vanilla game, so it's really if you want space and moon exploration, which really isn't all that much. Anyways, that's well, that was the video. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like. If you would like to see more, because there are gonna be more, press the subscribe and share it with friends if they would be interested. That's all. Goodbye.